Stop complaining about your job search. I am not negating the fact that it is hard out there. The job search process is not easy, and I know that. But you could be shooting yourself in the foot when you complain. I have an acquaintance in my life, and I talk to her maybe a few minutes a day, a few days a week. And so I asked her how she was doing, and all of a sudden she just launched into this tirade about her job search. And she was saying how the whole thing is rigged, it's not fair. She was saying it's all BS. There's actually no jobs out there to be had. And I just let her go on. And then I thought to myself, wow, I could have actually gotten her at least a phone screen at the company I work for, but I didn't want to put my name on the line for her. I didn't know if this was, something that she would bring to the company, this negativity, this outlook, this, in a way, a victim mentality. And I was like, oh, okay, just listened. And I thought to myself, if she's doing this with other people, she could be, as she did with me, potentially losing some great leads. And that's how you should be looking at everybody you interact with as a lead. I mean, obviously, complain to your spouse, complain to your best friend, that's one thing. But if you're talking to people that you don't really know, then act as though they could be somebody that could help you in your job search, because they could be. Maybe they have information about jobs at their company. Maybe they can provide you information about the industry, or maybe they know somebody who could. And so that's how you need to reframe when you are talking to people and you talk about your job search. Think, okay, rather than complain, possibly this person could lead somewhere. And next is when you complain, you are focusing on everything that is out of your control. I get it. There is a lot that's out of your control, but there's actually a lot that is in your control. And the people who are the most successful, especially when it comes to the job search process, are people who understand and have a strategy and track their process. I'm not just talking, oh, I applied to 5 positions today. No, I'm talking about from networking all the way to a job offer and everything in between. Researching companies, sending out applications, interviewing, all of it, track it, because that gives you the ability to both see at a macro level and a micro level how the process is going. And when you are able to hone in on those specific points where you can say, hey, okay, I'm not really getting any calls back with my resume. Maybe I need to start tailoring my resume. Or I'm applying for all of these jobs on job boards and they're not leading anywhere. Maybe I need to focus on networking. And if you're wondering, it's not a maybe. You should always focus on networking. But when you're able to take back the reins and see where you are in the process and what the roadblocks are, you can be strategic. But just complaining about it is almost just ceding that power to some outside force. And in reality, you have way more control than you think. And third, when you complain, you are going to get a lot of unsolicited advice. And I genuinely think it's from people who want to be helpful. But those same people might be giving you bad advice. And I don't think that's intentional, but it happens. For example, my husband was interviewing years ago for a position here in Austin. And his dad was like, you have to wear a suit and tie. My husband's like, yeah, I don't really think that's how things are done at this point in time. And his dad doubled down. He's like, nope, always a suit and tie. And so that was a different generation. It was different expectations. So understanding where that advice is coming from. Have they even interviewed for a while? Are they successful in their interviewing? If they have, and if they have, then yes, that could be some great advice. If there's somebody you spoke with who's like, actually, I landed 3 interviews and I got 3 job offers, then you might want to hear what they have to say. But when you complain, you're just opening up people to commiserate about their own experiences, maybe give you bad advice. I also heard this one piece of advice, which as a former hiring manager and recruiter, I'm going to say, throw this one out. And that is that you should always end the interview with, so when do I start? I heard that on like TikTok and I was like, no, don't do that, because it just leaves the person on the other side of the table like in an awkward position. It's kind of like a chuckle, like, and then they just move on. That's not what you want to do. Just be careful of when you complain, the advice that you get back, if it's even any good. A better way than complaining and getting advice is being strategic and seeking out advice that is helpful. And obviously you're in a great position right now because you're watching this channel. And if you'd like to go ahead and like this or subscribe, that would be great. But ultimately, just remember, complaining might feel good in the moment, but you're playing a long-term game, and you want to make sure that you are setting yourself up for the best success in the future. I don't know if that makes sense. For future success. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.